24 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
One word that jumped out to me, you said there was the focus. You know, there's a lot of things, and people talk about. Carolina is still 15 feet away. It's still 19. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first of all for the Kamiak Knights. At one wing position and guard is a 5'9" senior, Alexi Morris. Also starting in the guard and forward position is a 5'9" senior, Sarah Payne. Starting at guard will be Kate Huguenin. She is a 5'7" senior. In the forward position, it'll be Jamie Biren. She is a 5'9" senior. And also starting as a point guard, a 5'4" senior, Aaliyah Marrero. So you have Alexi Morris, Sarah Payne, Kate Huguenin, Jamie Biren, and Aaliyah Marrero. For head coach Brian Norman and his assistant coaches Jason Johnson and Arnie Martinez. Switching over to the team that will be wearing the home whites here in this game, the Lake Stevens Vikings. Their head coach is Randy Edens, assistant coaches Samantha Barrett, Gil McKinney, Steve Berg, Jack Wilcox.
A 5'8" guard, number 20, Christian. For Kamiak, a 5'7" wing, number
Senior Marissa Walton, and this one is a good one, averaging 17 points a game and 11 rebounds per game. Starting at a guard and a tall guard, 6'2" junior Kylie Griffin. So that's Lacey Taylor, Kristen Glick, Reagan Reed, Marissa Walton, and Kylie Griffin for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Kamiak Knights, Lake Stevens Vikings, and looking at how these two teams have done against each other so far. First of all, they played on January 9th, and they're both in Wesco 4A, and that was a victory for Lake Stevens, 51-42, that game at Kamiak. Then the next time they played was at Lake Stevens. Lake Stevens won that one, 65-61, and then they met in district play earlier on, and Lake Stevens came up with that win, 66-53. So Joel, they're 3-0 against them. It's tough to beat a team 3 times, let alone 4 times, but so far they've had their number.
Well, I can tell you right now, Coach Edens is for Lake Stevens is probably not very excited to have to play the same team a 4th time. And yes, they're 3-0, but it's one of those things, just talking with Coach Brian Norman before the game, it's not about how many wins you have, it's when you get that win. And if they go 1-3 against the Vikings this year, but this win comes today, you're going to regionals. So this is definitely the one you want to get.
We are happy to bring you the action here in our matinee from Everett Community College and the Walt Price Student Fitness Center. We'll be back with more right here on the High School North Sound Radio Network. Stay with us.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At G&S, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi ductless heat pumps allow you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. Because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call G&S Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Brandon, how much time do we have? That's better. Welcome back, and we are ready for basketball action here at Everett Community College. Our referees are Dave Dodson, Romeo Escalona, and Kevin Erickson. Mark Ockett, Joel Boyer, right here on Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3, and STSPN.com. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. And we have girls basketball action. Winner advances to the regional, and the loser is out. So they get ready to go as the Lake Stevens Vikings with Kylie Griffin to tip off in white uniforms with silver numbers and letters. The Kamiak Knights in purple uniforms with white numbers and letters. And here we go as Griffin easily wins the tip-off, and we are underway with the basketball. Will be Lake Stevens. Glick going over on the right side. It's going to be a miss by Kylie Griffin, and here comes Kamiak out of backcourt. Quickly ahead they go. Aaliyah Marrero takes it in, and Joel, she is fouled right away.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those things you look for Lake Stevens to go to their bread and butter play. Wanted to get Kylie Griffin the ball, curling over the top right there, going hard to the rim, but wasn't able to finish on that. Quick outlet for Kamiak, and Aaliyah Marrero shooting 2 free throws.
At the foul line, taking the first shot will be Marrero, and she misses that one. The foul that time was against Lacey Taylor, her first team foul, and the second one on the way is good. So she goes 1 for 2 from the line, and Kamiak is on the scoreboard, taking the early 1-0 lead with 7:42 left here in the first quarter. Thanks for being with us, and doubleheader of action. Boys loser out game coming up next. Kylie Griffin with the ball in front court, cross-court pass. And Lake Stevens will work it around up top on the high perimeter right there. Reed with the basketball now. Goes over on the left side. Nice pass, and it's going to fall short on the shot that time, missing. Over on the left side was Jamie Beeren as Kamiak with the basketball now. Out of backcourt, here they come. Griffin up on the high post. Good defense. Blocks the shot out of bounds that time. Looks like Beeren was in over there to try to put it in on the drive, and she couldn't get that to drop because Griffin got her hand out and knocked it away.
Great block by Kylie Griffin. She has long arms to go with her 6'2" length and height. Definitely a defensive force, but also an offensive presence.
With the basketball, taking a shot over on the right side and missing is Sarah Payne. Payne with the miss, and Kamiak gets the rebound. Getting it will be Aaliyah Marrero, and she misses on the shot. So it will be Lake Stevens rebounding the basketball. Shot fired up, and a miss that time for Lake Stevens. Marissa Walton, and just some back and forth. Still Kamiak leading 1-0. 6:46 to go in the first quarter.
Aaliyah Marrero with 2 rebounds early on defensively for the Knights. Shortest person on the floor right there, but don't tell her that because she's definitely bigger than her 5'2", 5'4" height.
Lake Stevens getting the rebound. Kylie Griffin off a miss by Marrero, and then she goes with an outlet pass over on the right side. And that is to Kristen Glick. Glick gets run into, and there's a foul to get things started. That's going to go against Alexi Morris, her first team foul. Each team has one. 6:29 left. First quarter action from the Walt.
And our 2 players are really key in a watch for Lake Stevens. Obviously, Kylie Griffin, we've already talked about her. But for the Knights, Sarah Payne, number 5. She is the do-it-all, kind of a Swiss Army tool for them.
Then Kylie Griffin gets a great pass from Marissa Walton and gets a shot to drop from right out front. It is 2-1 as the lead switches hands for the first time. And now Lake Stevens is on top with 6:04 left to go in the first quarter.
Lake Stevens in a man-to-man defense, not switching on screens at all, allowing Aaliyah Marrero right there, knife through the lane, missed her second chippy.
Boy, that's a tough one right there. She should have had that one as Kylie Griffin gets a rebound, brings it into front court now, and passes to Lacey Taylor. They got plenty of time, 30 on the shot clock for girls basketball, 35 for the boys. Stepping in with a beautiful move, but missing the shot was Reagan Reed. Oh, I tell you, Joel, she had a great step in, but just couldn't quite close the deal, a little too hard off the glass.
Absolutely, right there, Reagan Reed dropping down on help side defense with a beautiful steal on the baseline, bringing the ball back. Only a freshman, very talented, but my next comment was going to be you still get some freshman mistakes with that talent, and she dribbled it off her heel out of bounds right there. But look for her to see if she can't have an impact on this game early on, see if she can't find a rhythm on the positively, and not have to maybe sit down a little bit just to kind of control herself and get herself back, get her head back in the game as a freshman.
Near steal by Kylie Griffin, and instead Lake Stevens goes outside, misses his shot. Reed gets the board, and she'll go left side with a pass into front court. Will this work? Off the rim, a miss, and down low on the right side, getting the rebound and putting up a shot is Kristen Glick. Glick gets fouled, and she will have 2 shots coming up. Again, our score 2-1 as Lake Stevens is on top by 1 point at the foul line. Or I should say the foul is on Kate Hugan, and that's her second team foul. Looking at the clock, 4:59 left in the first quarter, and coming into the game for the Lake Stevens Vikings is Anna Dominic. She had 6 points in the loss to Glacier Peak on Thursday night.
I'll say that last play for Glick right there is I always love watching a wing come crashing in the backside. Obviously more of a perimeter player, but crashing that backside, no one there, and she's able to get that rebound and fouled on that attempt, making 1 of 2 free throws.
Kamiak with the ball in front court. Long three-point jumper way outside the arc is going to be a miss by Huguenin, and they get a second crack at it, now a third, and missing is Barron, and here comes Lake Stevens getting the rebound. Outlet pass, Kylie Griffin coming into front court, steps in. Oh, what a beautiful move! She went up against a couple of defenders, gets the shot to drop, and she is fouled.
Absolutely, was not going to pull that ball back, was not going to pass that ball. She decided about the volleyball line just inside midcourt that I'm going to be able to take this all the way to the rim and see what can happen, and beautiful finish for her with an and one opportunity.
Shot on the way, perfect. So she's got 5 points already. She had 23 points in the loss to Glacier Peak on Thursday night. 6-1 is our score, biggest lead of the game for either team, and the foul that time was on Kate Hugan, and that is her second foul. And team foul number 3, just 1 so far for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Kamiak in front court now. This is Aaliyah Marrero. Passes over on the left side, Sarah Payne. 3 ball, no good. And getting the rebound is Reed. She'll come out of backcourt, pushing it forward. She gets it down there low really well and also moves the ball up court excellently.
Well, right there, the Vikings went to a 1-2-2 zone, and she was playing that upper wing portion of the zone, one of those upper 2 spots. But obviously when the ball gets rotated, she needs to drop down to the bottom block, so that kind of puts her in that easy position to get that quick, easy rebound.
Alex Gallagher called for the foul, her first, 4th team foul. Inbound pass goes to Reed. Now she'll go up high. It's a little bit too high for Marissa Walton. Off her fingertips and grabbed by Kamiak. Cutting through, coast to coast she goes. Is Aaliyah Marrero taking charge. Puts it off the glass right side and in. And we are looking at a 6-3 game. Lake Stevens on top. 3:47 to go, first quarter.
And you're going to hear us talk a lot about different Kamiak players because they are a senior-laden team. So while Sarah Payne's kind of the Swiss Army knife that can do it all, can score, can rebound, can drop 30 points from inside or outside, they have a lot of seniors, Aaliyah Marrero being one of them, and she's definitely going to be keen to break all night long.
Kylie Griffin called for an offensive foul driving on the right side of the lane. Her first foul, second team foul, and with 3:38 left, the Kamiak Knights will come out of backcourt with the basketball. Gallagher over towards the middle now to Marrero. They work it around the outside, 18 on the shot clock. Down they go. Marrero back up top to Sarah Payne, drives in, pull-ups, floater right in front of the basket, and she puts it in. So it's now 6-5 as Kamiak is on a 4-0 run, 3:17 to go in the first quarter here on Fox Sports 1380, 95.3 FM, and STSPN.com. Up high on the high post, turnaround jump shot going to be no good by Anna Dominic. Marrero ends up with the basketball coming out of backcourt. Here they go. Pass over on the right side, Sarah Payne. Long on a 3 ball, and the rebound is fought for by Gallagher. She gets it. They go around the horn again, and Gallagher ends up with it, misses a shot from way outside, and battle for the rebound. Reed ends up with it. Here she comes out of backcourt.
Yeah, this is definitely a Kamiak team like we talked about, that they don't necessarily have the tall length and size, but it seems like all their players are about 5'8", 5'9", and can jump. They're athletic. They've been through a lot of wars, and this is the 4th game like we talked about early on. This is the 4th time they've played Lake Stevens this year. They don't want to lose 4 times, and they definitely want to go to state. When you have seniors, they want to get to state.
All right, there was a missed shot by Marissa Walton. Kylie Griffin ended up with the rebound, loses the basketball, and it's taken by Kamiak. They go the other direction, miss, and Reagan Reed comes up with the board and the ball, or gets the ball at the end, and now comes out of backcourt. Going to be tied up, nearly tied up, by Alexi Morris, and finally works out of the jam on the left side. Lake Stevens with the basketball, driving in right side now, and missing a shot was Glick. They get a couple pops at it, can't connect on it, and finally ending up with the basketball and getting fouled on the shot. The Kamiak player, that looks to be Kristen Glick. It's kind of hard to read some of these with those silver numbers. I am not a fan of that.
Well,
I would prefer they were dark numbers on white. And so at the foul line is Glick. She has 2 shots. She's going to miss this first one and is 1 for 3 from the line. The foul that time was on Alexi Morris. That is her second, 5th team foul. It's 6-5, 1:59 left first quarter as Lake Stevens is up by 1 and a chance to extend their lead. Their biggest lead has been 5 at 6-1. Second shot finally will fall in. Boy, 7-5 now, Joel.
And Lake Stevens dropping back into a man-to-man after they had some substitutions right there on both sides of the ball. But Kamiak has a number of players that can shoot from the outside, so look for them to see if they can't open things up. A little dribble drive attack right now, trying to swing the ball around the horn. I think they're going to be able to try to see what they can get on the outside. Obviously, that's going to be the name of their game. If they can get up 15, 23s a game, that'll be great for them.
Well, Kamiak going in, a miss on the shot, first of all, by Jamie Biren. And then we have a rebound and follow-up by Carolyn Bruner, and Bruner gets fouled. She'll have 2 shots coming up at the line. So far, Kamiak is 1 for 2 from the line, and Rocky Leenstra called for the foul. That's her first third-team foul.
Bruner, the tallest player on the Knights roster at 5'10", but the only post presence they might have. But again, Coach Brian Norman understands how to use his players and get through them.
She makes the second shot, missed the first one. 7-6 to score. And we look at the clock, 1:30 left to go in the first quarter. Traveling has been called against Lake Stevens.
Can't slip it by the sheriff, Kevin Erickson down there, no way.
Kamiak will come out of backcourt now as they're down 7-6, a chance to regain the lead. They had the lead at 1-0 before Lake Stevens took over. There's a shot from far outside, put up that time by Biren, and she misses on it. Going for the rebound, grabbing a foul as Lake Stevens going to draw the foul, and that's going to be on, let's check and see, that is going to be on Carolyn Bruner, her first 6th team foul, and Lake Stevens will inbound. Well, now you look at things, and Kamiak has 6 team fouls as we're closing in on the final minute of the first quarter, Joel.
Yeah, and Jamie Bierny's done a great job so far for Kamiak trying to hold down Kylie Griffin. I mean, it's one of those few times if Kylie Griffin only has 15 points now, you're going to say Kamiak probably won that battle, which is not usually the way things come across. But Kylie Griffin is as good a player in this 4A Wesco League as you're going to find.
All right, 5:59 seconds left to go in the first quarter as a missed air ball by Lake Stevens. And so here comes the Kamiak Knights out of backcourt. Key here to take their time, look for the right shot, see if they can. There you go, some penetration taken in towards the basket is Jamie Biren, and she gets fouled going in. They are sitting at 1 for 4 from the foul line. Make that 2 for 4. So we have going to the foul line, that will be Biren, and the foul that time was against Taylor Smith, her first 4th team foul, and the first one rims out. So Joel, they're having trouble at the line. They're 2 for 5.
And look for that to maybe just be some early nerves. I mean, they're playing at noon. It's definitely most of these players are used to playing at about 7 o'clock, 7:15 at night. So noon is, I mean, you can adjust things maybe 5 o'clock, but starting at noon is definitely something different for these guys.
Give them 1 quarter to get that out of their system, and then it's time to – there's a lot on the line. She makes the second foul shot, and we are tied for the first time at 7-7. Into front court, Reed, pass over towards the middle, and it's successful as she is able to get it to Anna Dominic, who drops it in from out front, 9-7. Lake Stevens on top, step-in move, beautiful. Taking it to the rack is Alex Gallagher, 4-2 and 1. Game tied up and a chance for Kamiak to take the lead. That'll be team foul number 5 against the Lake Stevens Vikings, and called on Kylie Griffin. That's her second.
And that is not what Coach Edens is hoping to see with 25 seconds left here in the quarter. You think he's probably going to get her out anyway at that moment, just hoping to get her a nice quick little break. But her second foul obviously forces her to the bench. That's going to be something to keep an eye on the rest of this game.
Miss on the foul shot. And they'll try it again as they get the rebound. Kamiak with the basketball. 9-9 the score. Tied for the second time. Lead to switch hands once. Looking at the clock, there's 10 seconds left. Shot clock is dead here in the first quarter. Now 7, driving in towards the basket, putting it up. And traveling called against Sarah Payne, so that'll turn it over to Lake Stevens with 5.5 seconds left in the first quarter. Score tied at 9 as they roll the ball inbounds on that inbounds pass. Reed will have it. Working on coming out of backcourt. 2-1. Fires from near midcourt. Oh! Just off the rim, as you can see on STSPN.com. Holy smokes. Wow. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. Our first quarter brought to you by Glass by Lund, family owned and operated since 1967, offering the best price, value, and quality installation online at glassbylund.com. We're going to come back with second quarter action. Our score 9-9. Loser out, winner advances to regionals here on STSPN.com and Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, we are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I'm not hearing him. Am I deaf?
I'm hearing him.
Oh, you know what? I put him over on the other. Pull that cup off. I'm sorry. Brandon, how much time? On Fox Sports 1380, 95.3 FM, and STSPN.com. A miss for Kamiak as they start off the quarter, and now Lake Stevens has the ball. In front court they go in their white uniforms with the silver letter and numbers. Reed, three-point jumper, off the rim, no good. Battling and getting the rebound down low will be Sarah Payne. And with 7:20 to go in the second quarter, Kamiak once again has a chance to take the lead. Second quarter brought to you by Altitude Trampoline Park. Check them out at altitudemarysville.com. We had a turnover down there on the court, and so now they'll go back to the Lake Stevens Vikings.
It's going to be interesting to see right now. Kylie Reed on the bench, or excuse me, Kylie Griffin on the bench, looking at Reagan Reed right there at the ball. Kylie Griffin on the bench right now with 2 fouls. Going to see who's going to step up for the Lake Stevens Vikings and who can be that scoring machine for him.
Reed with the basketball, drives on the right side. Spin move, takes it in, hard off the glass. That one she'll have a little more refined through her career. Picking up the rebound, Alex Gallagher goes coast to coast, misses it. She had the seam, but just went too hard off the glass.
Oh.
Man, that's a tough one.
That's a
the
tough
move
one.
was nice. On
Absolutely.
both ends, actually, but both misses.
I think both of them were a little surprised how open they were at the end of the move that they weren't able to finish the shot.
I think that's a good point. Sometimes they can't realize, oh, my gosh, I'm open, and then they fire it up too hard. There's a missed shot from the outside. Missing it is Taylor Smith, and coming the other direction now is Kamiak Biren. And we have a foul as she takes it in. She'll have 2 shots coming up and is 1 for 2 from the line so far. That's going to be team foul number 6 called against the Lake Stevens Vikings. And the foul is on Marissa Walton, her first. As a first foul shot coming up for Biren is good. 2 points in the game. Kamiak regains the lead, matching their biggest lead of the game. Now Griffin's going to come in, Joel, and she will replace Rocky Leenstra.
Absolutely, and we actually saw this kind of same scenario last night in the 3A Girls Championship when Kelsey Rogers, a post for the Linwood Royals, had 2 fouls early on, and then she picked up her third right away, so that wasn't a great thing. We'll see if Kylie Griffin can not repeat that.
Biren misses on the second shot, made 1 out of 2, 10-9. Kamiak on top as Lake Stevens brings the ball into front court now, 6:15 left. Second quarter, Griffin up high, cross-court pass. She's able to find Lacey Taylor. They go down low and turn around with, after a couple of dribbles and putting it in, is Marissa Walton to make it an 11-10 game. Now Kamiak going the other direction. I think I see a travel down there, and that's going to bring it back to Lake Stevens, that time taking it down court and getting into some traffic with Sarah Payne.
Yeah, on the other end of the court back there, Marissa Walton, what a great post-up move by her. Was able to drop step baseline. How about a 6-footer right there? Tough shot to finish, but finished it real pretty like.
Absolutely correct right there as Lake Stevens with the ball in front court. Vikings once again moving it in, taking it in. Marissa Walton, she takes it, going to be fouled as she put the ball off the left side of the backboard, and 2 shots coming up for her.
Marissa Walton, the senior, 6-foot senior, has a great outside game as well as her post-up game. She's probably maybe even better out beyond the arc. A real good three-point shooter, nice smooth stroke. Has a little bit more hop on her shot than Chantel Osahor for the Washington Huskies, but not a whole lot more. Makes that first free throw right there.
At the foul line is Marissa Walton, makes the first one, and now has 3 points, make it 4. She hits them both. Good form at the line. 13-10 is the score. Kamiak trailing by 3 points, and there's going to be a full timeout called by Lake Stevens with 5:44 left in the second quarter. And this is Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3, and STSPN.com coverage of the Northwest District Loser Out Winner to Regional basketball girls game right here.
All frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi ductless heat pumps allow you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. Because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Here as we're at Everett Community College, it's 13-10. Lake Stevens is leading against Kamiak girls basketball, and again taking a look at our sponsor for the second quarter, Altitude Trampoline Park. Still haven't been to Altitude Trampoline Park? Well, it's in Marysville, and Joel and I need to get over there. The reason you should, Performance Trampolines. Modified, I'd love to see Tall Tom and Pat Castro on one of those. Modified Olympic trampolines aligned for higher jumping and interacting with the wall. To book a party, go to altitudemarysville.com. 2 misses by Kamiak, and Lake Stevens ends up with the basketball. Chance to equal or surpass their biggest lead of 5 points. They're up 13-10, and with the ball coming into front court is Lacey Taylor.
Yeah, the Vikings right there were into a 2-3 zone. We'll see if they're going to stick in that for the rest of this next few possessions or not.
Marissa Walton misses a 3-point basket. Push off on the rebound, and I'll tell you, the fouls are starting to stack up for Kamiak. They have 8 team fouls. That one is going to be called against Sarah Payne, her first. And at the foul line with 1-1 is Kylie Griffin. She's 1 for 1 from the line so far. Now 2 for 2, has 6 points in the game, and she is the leading scorer for the Lake Stevens Vikings.
Kylie Griffin's always been a good shooter, but you can see she's worked a lot on her free throw stroke. Real pretty stroke, as well as the focus at the line.
I agree. She really does have that down, and that's where so much to your team and so much in your career and your average, just a combination of everything. 15-10, and they were ahead 6-1 earlier, so they've matched that 5-point lead, scoring now a total of 6 unanswered points against the Kamiak Knights. And their defense for Lake Stevens seems to be a bit stifling. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Moreno goes on the other side, Marrero rather, and they finally keep moving it around, and finally really off the mark on a 3-ball is Jamie Beeran, and Griffin will get the rebound on the air ball, bring it out of front court, handles it well, hands off to Kristen Glick, and Glick will look around inside there. Popping out is Reed, the freshman. 18 on the shot clock, drives through the lane, floater put up, bouncing, and gets it to drop. That's when you know things are going your way as Reed gets her first 2 points of the game. It is 17-10, and Kamiak says this is starting to get out of control. We need a timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well. 4:25 left, second quarter. Lake Stevens 17, Kamiak 10. This is Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3, and STSPN.com.
You're watching STSPN.com.
Thanks for being with us this afternoon. First game of our doubleheader. We've got 17 for Lake Stevens and 10 for Kamiak. Mark Ock and Joel Boyer. Second quarter action, 4:17 left. And Kamiak has the basketball in their purple uniforms, driving over on the left side and trying to take it in for a basket. Alexi Morris, she gets fouled on the way in. Marissa Walton right on her there. And so that will be team foul number 7 against the Lake Stevens Vikings, and it is against Walton, her second foul in the game. Kylie Griffin also has 2, nobody with more than 1. And at the foul line with the shot is Alexi Morris. She connects on the first one. In the first quarter, Kamiak was 3 for 7 from the line. They are 2 for 3 in this quarter as her second shot is coming up, and it is good. So, Joel, she looked good that time around, and you really got to be on those shots because let's see now. They're 3 for 4 in the quarter, so 6 for 11 in the game, and you got to kind of want to pump that percentage up.
Absolutely. Looking at around 60% right there. That's not where Coach Brian Norton wants to be at. He'd love to be around that 80 percentile range, but take what you get. They are free throws. Hopefully you can cash in on them.
Reagan Reed up high with the basketball. Oh, she goes on the left side. Marissa Walton, a 7-foot jumper. Soft touch is good. She's got 6 points all in the quarter, and it's 19-12. Back to a 7-point lead. Biggest lead of the game for either team here in the second quarter. 3:40 left. Kamiak with the ball in front court, and a good defense by Lake Stevens there.
Lake Stevens in that 2-3 zone right now. Nice steal up top for Lacey Taylor.
Yep, picks it off as Reed now goes, to inside, and the basket is going to be good by Kristen Glick, and 1. That was beautiful. 21-12, we have the title once again of one of my favorite Rush albums, Todd Elvig, if he's paying attention over there. And so 3:26 left here in the quarter. Glick's going to go to the foul line, and we have a substitution as Walton will come out. She's got those 2 fouls. And might as well sit her down for a while with a 9-point lead.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. You have Kylie Griffin and Marissa Walton, the 2 inside post presences, which is a weakness for the Knights. But they have 2 inside post presence for the Vikings, but both have 2 fouls. So see if they can hang on to those 2 fouls for the first half.
Glick's foul shot was good. She is now 3 for 5 from the foul line and a total of 5 points in the game. Marrero misses the 3 ball. They're having a lot of difficulty with those outside shots. It's 22-12, 10-point lead, and that is the biggest lead in the game for the Lake Stevens Vikings. And Kamiak can't make a 3-pointer to save their life at this point in time. 22-12, 10-point lead. There goes Reed driving to the basket, left side, too hard off the glass. Getting the rebound, Kylie Griffin, turnaround shot off the front of the rim. And now pulling it down will be Marrero when we have a whistle and a foul as Reed hits the deck and another Kamiak player limping. That foul is going to be called against Reagan Reed, her first 8th team foul, and they'll go the other direction with 1-1.
You always love watching physical basketball. Girls, guys, doesn't matter. Basketball's a contact sport, Mark, and that's the thing that you love to see. 2 teams battling hard, nothing cheap, nothing anything like that, but bodies going to the floor means there's a lot of intensity. There's a lot on the line for these ladies tonight, and they really want to get to the dome.
Yeah, we have at the foul line Marrero. She makes the first foul shot, has 4 points in the game, is 2 for 3 from the line. 22-13 is our score. 8 team fouls against Lake Stevens, 9 against Kamiak, and she connects on the second one. Good to see her making those foul shots. They're now 5 for 5 from the line in the second quarter after going 3 for 7 in the first quarter. 2:42 to go in the second quarter. Reed driving through too hard off the glass again. She got open and just the momentum carried her literally past it as she released. Marrero coming out of backcourt now, and she'll pass over. Up top, 3-point jumper. That is Hunter Beeren coming through. She's in the game and gets it done. So it's 22-17, just like that. They've reeled off 5 straight points.
And don't look now, but now we went from a 9-point lead down to a 5-point lead very quickly. So this Kamiak team is resilient. Look for these seniors not to want to go home early.
Kylie Griffin, turnaround shot, 2 points.
That's one of those shots. I don't know how you stop that move. I mean, that's just a talented athlete right there, being able to elevate over a smaller player and just score.
With the basketball coming into front court, the Kamiak Knights. Cross-court pass, Hunter Beeren. She's going to try another 3. Air ball. Went to the well again, and it didn't work out. Out of bounds it goes. Kamiak basketball, 24-17. 7-point lead for Lake Stevens, and checking back in for the Vikings will be number 14, Taylor Smith, as the Vikings will inbound and have that 7-point lead. Make that ready to go with the white uniforms coming out of backcourt.
Kamiak staying in a man-to-man defense right now, really trying to pressure, kind of maybe overplay some things. Front Kylie Griffin up high, but she's setting a lot of high screens for Kristen Glick right there, seeing if she can't get a roll easy on that.
We got a whistle away from the ball, and this is going to go against Lake Stevens.
That's going to be your third on Kylie Griffin right there. Tried to push a little too hard to get down the lane. Not sure if maybe that was maybe a senior move by Jamie Byrne right there to fall down and see if she can't get a call on her. But either way, Kylie Griffin's going to have to go to the bench right now with 3 fouls.
1:31 left to go. This is second quarter action. Griffin goes to the bench with 3 fouls, and back in with 2 fouls is Marissa Walton. 24-17 is the score as Marrero will bring the ball out of backcourt. She passes, gets it back. Now over on the right side to Alexi Morris. It is Hunter Beeren, and she throws it towards traffic. It's off the fingertips of Jamie Beeren, who owns up to it. Picked off by Lake Stevens. 1:08 left to go in the first quarter, and Lake Stevens has a 24-17. Why not slow it down a little bit? And especially when you got like that Marissa Walton playing with 2 fouls, you got to be a little careful down there. You don't want her to get a sloppy one somehow. There's 10 seconds on the shot clock. Okay, now look at running. There's Walton with a 3-ball off the front of the rim. Getting the board that time, Kate Huguenin, and she'll go with the outlet pass ahead. She finds Jamie Beeren, now to her sister Hunter Beeren. Hunter will dribble around a little bit. She wants to take it in, bounce pass left side to Jamie. Jamie Beeren double teamed and now popping into the lane, and brilliant ball movement. Aaliyah Marrero.
You said a brilliant ball movement right there. A great job. All 5 players touching the ball right there. Marrero getting a nice little feed inside the lane for an easy deuce for her, a 5'4" point guard. Not often getting a lot of points inside the lane. That's her on a half-court set per se, but what resilience by the Kamiak Knights to get this down to only a 5-point deficit now.
13 seconds left. First quarter action here at Everett Community College. And Lake Stevens has the ball. Now 7 seconds left. Pass over on the far right side. That is Taylor Smith. Joel, you thought maybe a travel in there. It's taken away. Not enough time. Well, she get it off just a little bit short. That was a shot at the buzzer by Alexi Morris. And we are at halftime here at Everett Community College, the Walt Price Student Fitness Center. Mark Ock and Joel Boyer on Fox Sports 1380 and also FM 95.3 and STSPN.com, the North Sound High School Network, bringing you the action live, and we're going to take a timeout as it is halftime, and Lake Stevens is leading this one 24-19.
Shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. You not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, we are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Just kind of go to more of a volunteer role this year with the Snohomish Girl Panther basketball team. But coming back to this game, the one thing I'd say to really keep an eye on is both had 19 fouls, but that's a lot of team fouls that you're putting up in a half. Look to see who these next fouls in this third quarter are going to be called on, if they're on the right or the wrong players per se, and how much impact it's going to have on the second half.
So in their purple uniform, go from our left to right as they have the ball to start off the half, down by 5 points. They go down low inside with the basketball, Carolyn Bruner. They work it around outside up top now, and finally getting her hands on it and missing a long shot is Huguenin. Getting the down Anna Dominic, and she'll leave it off, and they'll work it coming out of backcourt now with the ball. Glick, she goes to Kyle Griffin, back to Glick, around on the right side. Reed, three-pointer, perfect. And the thing about that was it was perfect. 20-17 for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Their biggest lead has been 22-12.
Yeah, Lake Stevens staying in that 2-3 zone. I would do the same thing Coach Edens is, stay in that zone. It's been working for you first half. Might as well stick with it in the second half.
Huguenin misses the shot. Lake Stevens with the rebound in their white uniforms with silver letters and numbers and trim. And now they come into front court to our left, right down there below you on STSPN.com. Getting the ball and nearly losing it, Marissa Walton. They work it around the perimeter. Kylie Griffin again to Reed. A little far off the range that time, off the back of the rim, and ending up with the rebound will be Sarah Payne. 6:44 left here in the third quarter, and happy to bring you the action. First game of our doubleheader. The next one, loser out, and that will feature the Lake Stevens the Kamiak Knights against the Monroe Bearcats. Missed shot on the right side by Kamiak. Lake Stevens bursting out of backcourt. Reagan Reed too hard off the glass and rim once again, as Kamiak will get the rebound, bringing it forward. Jamie Beeran over on the left side. Marrero, fancy dribbling, underhand shot, partially deflected by Marissa Walton. Kylie Griffin ends up with it and throws it away, as it's going to be intercepted by Alexi Morris. And now to Huguenin, driving in and passing off to Sarah Payne, who connects on the shot. And we have a timeout on the floor. That got a little frantic there, Joel. 27-21 is the score, and it's a 30-second timeout. Why don't we keep it right here? Our second half in-game sponsor for the third quarter is attorneys Russell and Hill, professional, personal, proven attorneys, RussellandHill.com. Want to also mention that we'll have the presentation of the Player of the Game T-shirt on Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3 from the Brian Reed Allstate Insurance Agency in Monroe. Brian, we really appreciate your sponsorship. And then on STSPN.com, we'll have the Player of the Game T-shirt presentation from the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Store. And we thank the Eaglestads for their sponsorship. Joel, those sponsors are a big part of our bread and butter.
Huge part of what we do here.
And we really appreciate it with all these community schools and community sponsors stepping up. Marissa Walton inside, and a good entry pass from out on the wing.
Kamiak Knights have gone to a 2-3 zone the last two possessions. Right there, Coach Edens wanted to call a timeout to see if he couldn't get that. Right on cue. Wing entry over the top of the zone into Marissa Walton on the backside wing, or on the backside block,
Marrero got the ball, dribbles in a couple inside the arc, misses a shot. Kylie Griffin with a rebound, outlet pass right side to Reed. Reed will bring it out with a right-handed dribble, now leaves it back at midcourt for Kristen Glick. Back to Reed, picked up lightly on defense by Alexi Morris. Now dribbling between her legs, a little too fancy there as it's poked away, and then finally secured by Kate Huguenin. Huguenin with a pass down on the left side, finds Alexi Morris. Morris takes it to the basket and gets fouled on the way in. She will have 2 shots, and she's already 2 for 2 from the line. That foul is going to go against Reagan Reed, her first team foul for either team. And the first foul shot is on the way. Morris looks good from the line.
I think those early free throw woes for the Knights has definitely been righted. I think so much of that, like we talked about, is the focus, kind of the energy. Sometimes you get yourself a little over emotional in that start of the game. Right there, just got to calm down, go to the free throw and knock them down like she did right there.
Hit them both, 29-23, 4 points for Morris in the game as Lake Stevens will work it out of backcourt slowly. Kristen Glick passes over on the right side. She finds Taylor Smith. Smith back up on top to Marissa Walton. Now Dominic. Anna Dominic goes in, it looks like the hand on that one, and ending up with the basketball. Kate Huguenin goes with a long court pass now. She finds Sarah Payne. Payne drives to the basket, misses on that, and then Lake Stevens able to get the rebound. And we got a timeout call from the bench. 4:53 left. This is the third quarter on Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3, STSPN.com. And again, brought to you here in the third quarter by attorneys Russell and Hill at RussellandHill.com. We'll take a timeout. More on the way. Stay on board.
Oh, yeah.
Pace is especially. Back live to the Walt Price Student Fitness Center on the campus of Everett Community College. Kylie Griffin going inside for Lake Stevens to Marissa Walton, and Walton trying to step in towards the basket is going to be fouled by Sarah Payne and have a couple of shots coming up. For Payne, that would be her third foul, first team foul against Kamiak here in the second half as Walton goes to the foul line. So far, she's a perfect 2 for 2 from the line and has a total of 8 points. She had 6 in the first or second quarter, and she looks good at the line, Joel. She just hit the first one.
Yeah, her stroke is great. She's a good outside shooter as well. I'll tell you a thing to keep an eye on here. Sarah Payne going to the bench with her 3 fouls right there. She is the bread and butter scorer for the Knights, so it'll be interesting to see how long she's able to stay on the bench.
Romeo Escalona, the net has had a malfunction. We have a net malfunction. There it is. He finally on the third try. It kind of one part of the net got hooked on one of the hooks under the net, so they had to make sure that's okay. And I'm just surprised Romeo didn't jump up and get it. So he decided to save his springs for the regionals.
Doesn't want to show up the girls.
That's right. She misses the second shot. Rebound hauled down by Carolyn Bruner. Now in the front court, Morero goes over on the left side. Kate Huguenin shot off on defense by Kylie Griffin. Griffin's got a big wingspan too.
Back to a man-to-man defense for the Vikings. They're really switching things up, trying to rotate between defenses, keep the Knights on edge.
Up top, Kamiak with the ball. Shot fired right side. Rims and rattles out of there. Gallagher. And Lake Stevens will get the rebound. Here they come out of backcourt, getting the board that time. Taylor Smith, now in the front court. Smith ends up with it once again. 4:10 left in the third quarter, and a 7-point lead, 30-23, for the Lake Stevens Vikings, and they're going to whittle some time off the clock here, slowing it down some. Griffin ends up with the basketball. Back over on the right side, up top to Marissa Walton. Now over on the left side they go. That is Taylor Smith inside on a pass, or actually hangs onto it, misses a shot. And they get a couple of cracks at it, and finally it's going to be just out of bounds. That will be Lake Stevens' ball.
It looks like they're saying there was a tip on that last one, that when it was shot out of bounds, or shot on the backside of the backboard. Kevin Erickson says there was a tip on that, so we'll say Lake Stevens' possession. However, they only have 1 on the shot clock, so look for maybe a throw up to the rim and see if Kylie Griffin can't get a tap on it.
And there we go, as there is an inbound pass, goes out of bounds, deflected away. Last touch by Lake Stevens this time, so Kamiak will get it back. And they really need to make things happen here, Joel. They're down by 7 points. Certainly anybody's game at this point in time, but you really on all these have to capitalize coming down court. And they've fired off a lot of misses on those 3 balls.
Lake Stevens back in a 2-3 zone. Maybe probably a make-or-miss situation right there, as Coach Edens talks about. Probably if they make the basket, they're going to be in this defense, miss it, they're in this one.
Marrero connects on the shot. Three-pointer from on the top of the key, just outside the arc, and that makes it a 30-26 score. She now has 9 points. That's her first three-pointer in the game. And Reed will drive in on the right side and puts it in. 5 points in the quarter, 7 in the game, 32-26. Marrero over on the right side with a pass to Biren. Now to Marrero again. Far outside they go with the basketball. Huguenin. Right side. Gallagher misses a three-pointer, and Marissa Walton is right there for the rebound. Marissa on the spot, goes with an outlet pass to Reed. Reed coming into front court, drives into the basket, puts it up, no basket, gets fouled. We got a blocking foul coming up against Kate Huguenin. That will be her third foul. Second team foul. Reed will go to the line.
I'll say defensively, Reagan Reed, very talented freshman, point guard, has great ball control. However, she really favors that right hand. I'd love to see the Kamiak defenders really try to force her to her non-dominant hand to that left hand and see if they can't slow her down that way, because when she goes right, she's definitely getting the advantage to him and either getting to the rim for a lay-in or going to the free throw line right now.
Makes the first foul shot, has 6 in the quarter, 8 in the game. And you know, Joel, you bring up a great point in that how important it is to develop your offhand, and misses the shot, and so she is 1 for 2 from the line. Getting the rebound is Hunter Biren, and we'll get back to that point in a second. As Kamiak in the front court down 33-26. Errant shot fired up, and it's going to be a rebound by Marissa Walton. They come the other direction. Reed with the ball in front court. Over on the left side, Anna Dominic goes with a fake, drives in towards the basket, and she is going to be fouled. Player for Kamiak not getting position that time, and that was Alex Gallagher. That'll be team foul number 3 against Kamiak, and for Gallagher, that's her second foul. Going to the foul line is Dominic. First trip to the foul line for Anna. First shot is good.
And Brian Norman right there for Kamiak, I think is pretty displeased with, it looks like they missed a travel on Anna Dominic's first move when she drove to the hoop and then didn't get the call. They said it was a blocking foul. It could have possibly been a charge call. Either way, Anna Dominic goes to the free throw line and is able to put down 1 of 2.
1 of 2 as it comes out on the rebound, 34-26. Biggest lead in the game has been 22-12, a 10-point lead for Lake Stevens. And driving the other direction, dropping it home, will be Carson Alexander. Well, is that right? No, that actually was Carolyn Bruner. Carolyn Bruner takes it in, and it's 34-28. No, it was Carson Alexander.
Carson Alexander right
there.
there.
I thought so. And now she ends up with the basketball on the steal. They slid her into the lineup. And so Kamiak has the ball and down by 6 points, 34-28. Back up top they go. It's Hunter Biren. Now she finds Bruner. Bruner down low inside, 16 on the shot clock with the basketball. Hunter Biren kicks a pass out high. Bruner with a long shot. I think they had a little more time to try to work on that. Biren gets the rebound. That's Jamie Biren. Driving baseline. Reversal is good. Goes to the left and fires on the reverse and puts it in. It's 34-30, a 4-point game. Looking at 1:40 to go in the third quarter.
Great job going on the reverse right there. Anytime you have a shot blocker like Kylie Griffin, you got to go on the back side of that rim to make sure you're not going to get blocked.
We have a foul, whistle on the court, and this is going to go against Kamiak, which would be their 4th team foul. The foul is going to be on Jamie Biren. That's her first foul. A couple of substitutions for Lake Stevens. They're up by 4 points, 34-30. Kamiak has led twice in this game early on. Missed shot, and Lake Stevens having some trouble there. Getting the rebound is going to be Hunter Biren as she'll come out of back court. And those two Birens are doing a solid job on both ends of the court. Biren delivers a pass, and a shot is going to be missed by Carson Alexander. Here comes Reagan Reed out of backcourt for the Lake Stevens Vikings. 1:10 left, third quarter action.
And you feel the momentum really starting to shift towards Kamiak. So they're still down 4. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but really feel the momentum trying to shift towards Kamiak Knights.
Kylie Griffin misses a shot off the right side. And coming with the rebound, going coast to coast is Jamie Biren, takes it down, misses the shot inside. We got a jump ball now, a tie-up between Kylie Griffin and Carolyn Bruner, and that is going to go back to the Lake Stevens Vikings with 51 seconds left in the third quarter, and they own a 4-point lead. You know, one of the things, too, Joel, as they sort something out here, is that these players, especially when you look at somebody like Reed, who's just a freshman and starting and getting this much action, is they work on stuff in the offseason. You're talking about the left hand, and the great players will always work on something in the offseason. We know Larry Bird did down there with UW. Kelsey Plum does every year. And you can see the difference when you come back and see them in the next fall and winter as to the improvements they've made on their game. And we have a whistle. You have 2 shots coming up for Reagan Reed, as it'll be the 5th team foul called against the Kamiak Knights, and that's going to be on Carolyn Bruner, her 3rd. Reed goes to the foul line. She's 1 for 2 from the line, 8 points in the game, now 1 for 3 as she misses the first one.
And back to that point about working on things the offseason, players oftentimes work on things. The important thing is work on your weakness. There's a lot of players, especially young players, that they're good at ball handling. What do they work on? They work on ball handling more. Maybe they're not great at their shot. Well, they don't want to do that and see themselves not be successful. So always work on the weakness, not the thing you're already great at.
And make on the second one for Reed. And now coming into front court will be Kamiak, a 35-30 deficit for them. Jamie Barron back up on top to Hunter Barron. 3-pointer off the rim. She had a good angle on that, but it was just a little bit short, and Lake Stevens ends up with the basketball again. 15 seconds on the quarter clock. The shot clock is not up and running because it's dead here to wrap up the quarter. Now 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Reed going left hand, going inside. Is deflected away by Kamiak. Good hand that time by Jamie Barron. 2 seconds. 1, they're still in backcourt. Got to fire it, and too late. It didn't go in anyway. So 35-30 is the score. We are through 3 quarters of play. The 4th quarter is coming up. Should be a good one right here. Winner to regional and the loser out right here on Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3 and STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ
Shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. You not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Rocky Leenstra, it's 37-30, and we are almost a minute into the 4th quarter. A quick shot thrown up literally by Kamiak. They keep it alive and from going out of bounds, and now ending up with it is Barron. She'll pass off to Carson Alexander, missed the shot. Kylie Griffin with the rebound finds Reagan Reed over on the right wing. Reed going to try to take Barron to the basket, misses short on the shot, and it is taken in the air, an air ball by Gallagher. Now she finds Hunter Barron. 6:45 left, 4th quarter. Inside they go, and a missed shot by Carolyn Bruner. Griffin with the rebound again, and here comes Lake Stevens. A couple of wasted opportunities for the Kamiak Knights.
And this is one of those games right now as the Vikings lead by 7. You feel if this gets to maybe up to 10, it could be the tough road for the Knights to have to come back from. But you wonder if Brian Norman's going to start saying, okay, for the Knights, we got to either go to a trapping zone or maybe a press, something like that, just to try to put some more pressure on Lake Stevens. Sometimes that can result in you getting down by more, but at the same time, hey, losing by 5 or losing by 15 doesn't mean anything. You still lost, so you want to see if you can't change things up.
6:26 left to go in the 4th quarter. We have a timeout called by Lake Stevens. This is a 30-second timeout, and we'll keep it right here for now. Want to let you know that we'll have a quick statistical rundown brought to you by our hosts right here. And that is at the end of the game for the post-game stats. Everett Community College, more than 19,000 students a year choose Everett Community College. It is one of the finest community colleges in the state of Washington. Go to everettcc.edu. That's everettcc.edu, and make your choice today. Stay close, go far. Everett Community College. Where did you go to college? I don't think we've ever had that conversation.
I was looking after the Pepperdine University down in Malibu, California.
Wow. How about that? That must have been quite an experience down there, and squeezing in some class time with surfing time. But it's a great school.
Class?
Yeah, class. What's that?
Oh,
that had to be a really great experience.
I think my mom's listening. I went to every class I ever had, Mark. Didn't miss a one.
I have no doubt about that. Reagan Reed, I got your back. Reagan Reed throws it away towards the middle, and it's going to be taken away by Sarah Payne. And we got a foul in backcourt. Rocky Leenstra putting on a lot of pressure there, and is going to be called for her second team foul. So far in the half, 5 team fouls called against Kamiak, 2 against Lake Stevens. What did you major in down there?
Physical education, Mark.
That had to be – this all sounds great.
I surfed for class. Come on.
I'm loving this. Glad I asked the question.
It'll get better, I promise.
Down low, inside is Sarah Payne off a pass from Jamie Barron as Payne connects on it. 6 points in the game, 37-32. Now, did you go to high school? You went to Snohomish High School.
I'm a proud Snohomish Panther alumni.
And now how did you end up at Pepperdine?
Beautiful place. It was the right place. God had me in the right place, right time.
Oh, that's awesome. With the basketball, Kristen Glick curls in, puts it in, 39-32, a 7-point lead for Lake Stevens. Their biggest lead has been at 10 points at 22-12 in the first half. Kamiak with the basketball. That's Kate Huguenin. Now over on the right side, Marrero. They work it around. Good ball movement, but you got to try to get good basket movement, too, to get it to drop in there. With the ball, Lexi Morris, 12 on the shot clock, goes with a pass. And right out front, taking it in, strong off the glass is Sarah Payne. 4 in the quarter, 8 in the game, and it is a 5-point game.
And the Knights really need her to continue to heat up right now. Back-to-back buckets, last 2 possessions for Sarah Payne. She needs to make sure to continue that streak, or at least as a team they need to continue that streak.
A little trouble holding on to the ball for Lacey Taylor. Now she finds Kylie Griffin, who turns around and drops it in, and she has 11 points. That's just her first 2 points here in the second half with 4:54 left to go in the fourth quarter, and a 7-point lead for Lake Stevens, 41-34. Bounce pass, getting it in inside. Jamie Barron from Marrero, and that works. 7 points for her, 41-36. As Kamiak, Joel, is keeping pace, but you got to do a little bit more than that.
And basketball's a game of runs, Mark. You need to make sure right now the Knights need a score, a stop, followed by another score. They've gotten scores on the last 3 possessions, but they haven't been able to get a stop on either of the last 2. So really look for them to see if they can't dial up some defensive pressure and get a steal or get an empty possession right now for the Vikings.
Kylie Griffin misses on the shot. It's kept alive by Reed, but it goes right to a Kamiak player, and they get sloppy. Look, you're down by 5 points. You got to use your head, and fortunately their head coach overrules, calls a timeout before they lose the basketball. That's a smart move on the sideline there by Brian Norman. We'll take a timeout as they call a full timeout. 41-36, Lake Stevens leading, and we're around the 4-minute mark to go in the fourth quarter here on Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3, STS. Second game will feature with Tom Lafferty, Bill Kusur, Pat Castro, and that will be Monroe against Kamiak for the boys. 5-second violation. I mean, it was just seemed to be in the cards for Kamiak to turn that ball over. They call a timeout after nearly losing it on the floor, and then a 5-second violation. You got to give Lake Stevens credit too.
And this needs to be where you think that short memory. Kamiak Knights have got to make sure they get a defensive stop right here. There's a momentum going back and forth. Who's gonna seize that momentum? We'll see if Kylie Griffin can do it right here, or if the Knights can keep her from getting that.
blocking foul. Kylie hits the deck, and it's going to be no shots, but still stacking up the fouls, 6 of them now against Kamiak, as that one will be called against Aaliyah Marrero, and Lake Stevens will inbound on the left baseline. It goes to Marissa Walton. Up top, popping out is Reagan Reed. And, the other thing, too, they got a 5-point lead. Obviously, you want to still score, but you can take some time off the clock. They got a fresh 30 in front court. Oh, why not take it in? That's Reagan Reed. She puts it in for 12 points, and you know what? She's kind of looking to be one of our player of the game selections. She's done a great job out there for the most part. Missed some close-in lands, but overall she's done quite well.
Well, and she denied the screen right there, the on-ball screen, so I'm going to go the opposite way and was able to get a wide-open lane to the rim and finish that.
Alexi Morris misses an outside shot. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Kamiak. It'll be Lake Stevens' ball. They're up by 7, 43-36. 3:35 left to go in the fourth quarter, as Lake Stevens will sub in Anna Dominic coming back into the game for them. And now Lake Stevens will try to break the press as Kamiak playing up a little bit tight. No problem there as Reagan Reed will leave it back. And with the basketball is Lacey Taylor. 3:24 to go. And again, you can take some time off the clock. They've got 16 on it. Reed over on the right side to Dominic. And now once again it is Glick. Up top to Reed. There's 7 seconds on the clock. Better make some urgency now. And a missed shot by Reed. Rebound is pulled down by Alexi Morris. They took a lot of time off the clock, though. Goes ahead now with a pass to Huguenin. Step-in move. It's going to be deflected. And last touched by Kamiak. I thought that Lake Stevens at Griffin got a hand on. I think they're going to talk about this.
I think Kevin Erickson
pretty obvious to us
from the C official position and say that was a block out of bounds. Yes, and give the ball back to the Knights after a nice block by Kylie Griffin.
You got a solid referee crew out there. Dave Dodson, Romeo Escalona, and Kevin Erickson. And as you know, Joel, you can be as great individually as you can, but you got to be good collectively too as referees and as team, as players, obviously, just like the teams. Missed shot off the left side. Marrero ends up with it. She passes to Alexi Morris, takes it in off the glass, and 2 points. 43-38. 2:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. Oh, nearly thrown away, and we got a bump. As coming in tight, trying to intercept the ball was Jamie Barron. She's going to be called for her second foul, and that will be team foul number 7. So you got 1 and 1.
Gosh, there's just been feeling there's so many moments within this fourth quarter, Mark, where it feels like Kamiak's just about ready to seize up momentum and cut into this lead. And, gosh, you look up and it's still 5 points. So 43-38. Kristen Glick missing the front end of a 1-on-1 right there. So we keep that same score, but see if Kamiak can't cut into this.
Well, Kylie Griffin comes down, and it looked like a pretty clean block from here, but it's going to be a foul as she came in tight. And 2 shots intentional or flagrant?
No, not at all. Not at all. She was just coming down.
Playing good defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I thought she might have. Kevin Erickson has a better view than I do, and he is definitely a seasoned official he absolutely trusts. So I'll absolutely go with whatever he calls down there. But
I thought it was clean.
It looked clean from up here, but we are up in the crow's nest up here, so who knows?
First foul shot is good for Huguenin. She has her first point in the game. Second one rims out. You needed to make that one. It's a 4-point game. For Griffin, though, Joel, she now has 4 fouls.
Which, as a credit to her, we have 2:30 left in this game, and she picked up her 3rd foul in the second quarter. So, she did a great job playing through and not picking up that 4th foul any point during the second half until 2 minutes left.
Marissa Walton with the basketball. And we got a foul committed by Kamiak. It was Alexi Morris who was out there. Her 3rd foul, team foul number 8, 1 and 1 coming up at the foul line. Kristen Glick. She missed the front end of 1 and 1 earlier. So far in the game, she is 3 for 5 from the foul line. Here's the shot. Oh, it's short. You can see that right away. So she's missed a couple of big ones, and getting the rebound will be Barron, Jamie, and now she'll pass off to Sarah Payne in front court. They go for a 3-ball. Good! Rattles in and good by Kate Huguenin. It is 43-42. 2:05 left in the fourth quarter. Money ball. That time a 1-point game. Winner to region, loser out. This is Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3 and STSPN.com. We got more coming your way.
With the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi ductless heat pumps allow you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. Because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
You're watching STSPN.com.
We're back live here. 43-42 is our score, and fourth quarter action winding down. A little over 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter in a 1-point game. Keep in mind that earlier in the first half, Lake Stevens had a 10-point lead, and now it's 2:05 left to go. It's a 1-point lead, 43-42. 18 fouls against Kamiak, just 3 against Lake Stevens. And Joel, that is a factor because Lake Stevens has some fouls to give. Bringing the ball out of backcourt is Glick. Glick picked up defensively by Aaliyah Marrero. And they got plenty of time, 15 on the shot clock. Over on the right side now, that is going to be Reed. 10 on the shot clock between the circles, picked up defensively by Alexi Morris. Morris has it knocked away. Big hands in there. Morris has it knocks away from Reed, and it's out of bounds the other direction, and is going to stay with the Kamiak Knights. Alexi Morris getting the steal that time, Joel.
This Kamiak team just won't go away. Every time you feel Lake Stevens has built the lead, had that 5-point lead go the whole time. Kamiak is down 1 point here, but they have the momentum swung their way. Look to see if you can't have this senior-laden team dropping some buckets here and see if they can't come up with a win at the end.
Sarah Payne passes right side. Huguenin, 3-ball. It is good! Huguenin hitting 2 of them. Oh, my gosh. 7 points all in the quarter. 45-43, 1:15 left, fourth quarter. A lead of 2 points for Kamiak. Their biggest lead of the game comes in an excellent spot. Kylie Griffin, no, that's Reed driving in, takes it to the basket, and that is going to be an offensive foul on Reagan Reed. Her third foul, fourth team foul, going to give it back to Kamiak. What a comeback. They were down 43-36. And they are on a 9-0 run, Joel.
And that is a senior point guard right there. Aaliyah Marrero knew that Reagan Reed was not going to go for a 2-foot jump stop, going off 1 foot, and she went in and wore that charge. Got that call. Huge call right there for the Kamiak Knights.
Alexi Morris with the basketball. 51 seconds left, fourth quarter. Now Kamiak can run some time off. 10 on the shot clock. Getting it is Huguenin, right baseline. Kicks out a pass. She finds Alexi Morris. Drives left baseline. Cutting through. Nearly fouled. Grabbed and bumped into, blocked, a little bit of everything there, and finally hits the deck. You know, here's the thing. That is going to be a foul. First one against Kristen Glick, her first 15 foul. But Joel, more importantly, even though it's not shots, it puts a fresh 30 on the shot clock with a 2-point lead.
Well, that's 39.7 on the game clock right there. So if you can take some time away, if you can come up with a score in this possession, obviously this could be a huge dagger.
Jamie Beeren with the basketball. Passes left side. Kate Huguenin up top to Marrero. 22 seconds on the shot clock. They're just going to take their time. Up by 2. 45-43. Winner to regional. Loser is out. Season over. The end. Marrero with the basketball. 20 seconds quarter clock. 10 on the shot clock. She goes left side. Now right side to Beeren. And Beeren's going to be grabbed by Reagan Reed for her fourth foul. 16. And that shot clock's dead.
And that was absolutely what Coach Edens is looking at right now, looking at his freshman point guard, who is a standout player, saying, what were you thinking? You have 8 on the shot clock, 7 on the shot clock. You do not want to foul there. You're playing good defense. You need to get the ball back by not fouling. Now they're going to be forced to foul with 15.8 left on the game clock. Lake Stevens is going to have to foul right here and put the Knights to the line.
Timeout has been called by the Lake Stevens Vikings. 15.8 left on the clock, fourth quarter, and they trail 45-43. We'll be taking a break. Back with more. Stay with us here.
Shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. You not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
You're watching STSPN.com.
I have a hunch we'll be doing it again down the road. I appreciate you joining me.
Absolutely. Anytime you'll have me, I'll do it. It's a lot of fun, Mark. I just love watching high school hoops. everybody talks about March Madness, but why can't the madness start in February? We're looking at it right here.
I call it February Frenzy because it really is. It's a
trademark
blast.
that. Trademark and make some money on that one.
Yeah, it is an absolute blast. This week has been so much fun. This is the 5th day in a row, and with some college ball tomorrow. 15.8 seconds on the clock. 45-43. Kamiak on top. Up tight is Reagan Reed after the inbound. She's all over Marrero like a cheap suit, and that's going to be a foul called against Reed. That would be her 5th foul.
And that's exactly why she didn't want to foul right there, but she kind of put herself in that position earlier by creating that earlier foul. So now 13.4 on the game clock, a 2-point lead for the Knights. Aaliyah Marrero is going to have a 1-and-1. If this senior can put down and see if there's ice water or a little bit of nervousness in her veins right now, but if she can drop both free throws in, look for her team to be going on to the regional round, hopefully.
So she's got 1-and-1 coming up, and so far is 2 for 3 from the foul line. 9 points in the game. Has hit 1 3-pointer. The rest 2-point field goals. Connects on the first one. And this next one is mighty huge because that makes it a 2-possession game, essentially, unless you get fouled on a 3-point shot. Next one, perfect!
No fouls. And Brian Norman's calling the timeout for Kamiak, and I promise the first thing he's going to say is, great job, great free throws, we're up 4, don't foul.
Want to mention right here down the stretch that brought to you by the 6'8 Clothing Company. 6'8's casual clothing is designed by a tall man for a tall man. Dress well, live tall, 6'8 Clothing Company, online at 68clothing.com. Again, that's 68clothing.com. We thank them for their sponsorship. Keep in mind we have another game coming up on the North Sound High School Network, and that will feature Monroe against Kamiak for a chance to go to region, or loser is out. So plenty of entertainment coming your way. We'll also find out about the regionals tomorrow as how that lines up. And then a week from tomorrow, after the regionals completed, then it's always fun for the state draw. And this year different. It's going to go to 4 days. I'm loving that. They added an extra day.
Absolutely.
Hey, do you mind coming down for another day? No.
You're watching
Let me be
STSPN.
quite honest about that.
Well, we used
no,
to have
I don't mind
we
at
used to
all.
have a 16-team 4-day tournament. Now it's going to be a 12-team 4-day tournament at the Tacoma Dome. But, hey, as long as we get an extra day, I'll take it.
Yeah, and, of course, it used to be with 3A and 4A, it was 2 weeks, so it was 8 days. Kylie Griffin's going to go from one end to the other, takes it in, and is going to be picking up and a chance to get she's going to get fouled, and it's going to be a blocking foul against Kamiak as the Kamiak player hitting the floor a little shook up. You always want to hope that their head isn't injured. I mean, you don't want any part of them injured, and it kind of looked like Beeren went down hard on her head. She's going to come to her feet. 8.7 points or seconds left in the quarter, and perhaps the game, as Beeren called for her 3rd foul, 19th foul. She'll come out, and yeah, she's holding the back of her head. Joel, you never like to see that.
No, I never like to see that, but it's one of those things. Looks like she might have just got shook up. I hope for her to be okay, but she has done what a defensive job she's done. She's shadowed Kylie Griffin this entire game. They've been in zone for maybe a handful of 10, 12 possessions, it seems like, but they've been playing man-to-man almost the entire time, and she has held Kylie Griffin down to 11 points. Now, Kylie's shooting 2 free throws right now, but we're not going to put those on Beeren because she's out of the game. So
Griffin at the line so far is 3 for 3, 3 for 4. That's probably the ball game right there, because she's got one more coming up, but it's a 4-point lead for Kamiak as they have risen to the occasion in the 4th quarter. Here's the shot. It is good. Timeout, Lake Stevens Vikings. Let's take a timeout as well right here on Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3, and STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
For a full timeout call by the Lake Stevens Vikings, as we're right down to it. 8.7 seconds left here in the 4th quarter, and perhaps in the season for Lake Stevens. Lake Stevens leading throughout most of this game. They had a 43-36 lead, and guess what? Kamiak has come back and outscored them 11-1. That makes a big difference.
Huge run. And again, you cannot say enough about a senior-laden team. you love it when you have star freshmen, when you have underclassmen who can step up and play, and that's a huge thing for your program. But when you get to this point, Kamiak is loaded with seniors, and they are not wanting to go home.
Alexi Morris will inbound, try to at least. Got to watch the 5 seconds. Kylie Griffin coming up tight as the inbound pass goes to Hunter Buren, and Griffin's going to be called for the foul. That would be her 5th, and so that would mean her and Reagan Reed both fouling out of the game. Let's double check. Is that, yeah. You know, I love how the players will still head down court. They know doggone well they got 4 fouls on them. Like, oh, really? Is that 5? Oh, I got to go? You got to go.
Hey, if you don't tell me, you don't get me out. I'm not going out.
So at the foul line will be Hunter Buren. That's team foul number 8 against Lake Stevens.
And she needs one of these 2 to go. And so, it's a 1-and-1, so she needs this first one to go for her.
7.2 left on the quarter clock. Shot off the back of the rim, and getting the rebound that time. Coming into front court, there's 2 seconds, and a shot is going to be missed by Taylor Smith at the buzzer as time runs out. And we are complete here. 47-44 is our score. And guess what? Kamiak comes back on an 11-1 run, and they win this one by 3 points, 47-44. They're moving on to the regional, and Lake Stevens' season is over. A great comeback by the Kamiak Knights. And we are going to go ahead. We don't have, I guess, the T-shirt or presenting the award for Player of the Game on the radio side, but for STSPN.com we are, and that's the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Player of the Game. And decision made, Aaliyah Marrero.
Aaliyah Marrero, what a phenomenal performance for her. The shortest player on the court at 5'4", she finished with 7 rebounds for her team. I think she's leading rebounder for her team, actually, with 7 boards, but just had timely plays, doing a great job triggering the entire offense for the Knights. And what a great job by the seniors saying, we want to go to the Dome, we want to go to regionals. Obviously, they need to qualify for the Dome through regionals, but great job by the Kamiak Knights. Finally seeing Brian Norman have that breakthrough success to get to that regional round. Congratulations to all those Kamiak Knights and their fans.
So they get it done. Winning by the 3 points, 47-44. Congratulations, is now making their way out on the court will be